Good afternoon, everyone. In this video, I will be talking about implementation modeling. Until now, in terms of the object-oriented development process, we have seen several steps. Okay, so we have covered all the things. Okay, first step which we have seen is a system conception. This was actually involved with users, developers, managers, and business experts. Okay, we were basically we were generating the requests, and then we were actually preparing the problem statement in this stage, system conception. Okay, we discussed that first. Once we had this sort of problem statement, then we moved to the analysis phase. Okay, so in the analysis phase, we did both the domain analysis and application analysis. We took the user interviews. Okay, so we talked about taking user interviews, experiences, and related systems. Okay, and during the domain analysis and application analysis, we talked about building the models. Your class models, your state models, okay, so your interaction models, especially from the application analysis, we designed all the things. Okay, we got the models. So from the application analysis, eventually we also had these sort of class models. So application class models and domain class models as well. Basically, from this analysis phase, we built the models. So the models which we got out from this state are class model, state model, interaction models. Once we had these models, in the design stage, we basically tried to elaborate these models. What we did, first we looked at the system design in terms of we looked at the architectures, okay, so what are the use cases and then so on, blah, blah, blah. And then during the class design, we actually tried to realize these use cases and then try to design the respective algorithms. And at the end, we also had seen how to basically optimize it. So by doing all the things, eventually what we are getting is we are actually elaborating the models. So up to now, we have come to this stage. Okay, so basically analysis, design, okay, and then now we will go towards the implementation. The implementation is actually the final development stage. Okay, that actually addresses the specifics of programming languages actually. Okay, so eventually you got the models, you improved those models. Now you are trying to execute those models. Okay, using the programming languages. So most often the constructs will be how you can actually get that done in that particular programming language. Okay, but generally the implementation should be straightforward and almost mechanical, because the point is all the difficult decisions which you were supposed to take, you have already taken during the design stages. Okay, so originally you in the analysis you had the models, and then during the design itself you actually try to clean them. Okay, of course if you wanted, you could have actually iterated them several times, and then all the very difficult decisions have already been taken. So the implementation should be straightforward for that. Okay, so in that sense programming code, okay, should simply translate these design decisions. That's all. But before you actually go into start doing this sort of implementation of these sort of models, okay, from the design stage now, okay, first you should address some implementation issues that transcend the languages. So basically the idea is basically it is beyond languages. Some things you still have to address them. Okay, and this procedure, this step is called actually the implementation modeling. What it is, we'll be looking as part of this chapter, this last part of the course section. There are several steps for this implementation modeling. First thing is we have to fine tune the classes. What it is, we'll discuss, okay, in the coming videos. Then we have to fine tune the generalizations as well. Okay, so how you will basically fine tune the classes and generalizations we will be looking at later. And then we have to realize the associations. We have been defining the associations, how you will actually realize those associations. Then we have to prepare everything for testing. Okay, these are the steps which we have to basically take care in this sort of implementation model. The first two steps are actually motivated by theory of transformations actually. Okay, so basically how you take the current model and how you will actually transform. You will be looking from the mathematical perspective for this problem. Okay, so a transformation is a mapping from the domain of models to a range of models. Okay, so that's about this sort of transformation. So as far as the references are concerned, okay, so now we are in chapter 17 of object-oriented modeling and design with UML, Michael Blaha and James Rungo. Thank you very much for your attention.